Apple Mac operating system has seen a good jump in its usage since 2013 with its global share almost doubling in 10 years. So it makes it necessary for Apple to make its platform more flexible and adaptable than ever. Gaming is perhaps one of those limited features that macOS was still not able to expand until now when Apple decided to up its game so that it can finally compete with Windows and Linux operating systems. In the recent Worldwide Developers Conference, Apple revealed its newest tool called the Game Porting Toolkit, which will allow Mac users to play games on their Apple devices. This toolkit helps run the game without porting it completely, which usually takes a lot of steps and was a major problem in limiting the compatibility of games on Mac OS. As reported by CodeWeavers, Apple used the crossover source code for developing the toolkit, which uses Wine HQ as a compatibility layer. Wine is the tool that also helped develop Proton for porting games on Linux, and Apple now realized that it could also help them ease the process of porting the games to Mac OS. With the help of this compatibility layer, the toolkit can easily translate the Windows APIs directly to the Apple Silicon, which eliminates the need for modifying or porting the games. As explained in their recent video, the traditional method of porting the games required a lot of processes before their first launch, but with the toolkit the game can be launched instantaneously. Of course, they will need debugging and optimizations, but this gets easier for the developers because the toolkit helps them identify the bugs in real time. As of now, some users have already started running the latest AAA titles on their Apple systems, where one user was able to play Cyberpunk 2077 on an M1 chip on ultra settings at around 15 FPS, but the performance is significantly better on M2 Max chip where the game delivers 40 FPS. Similarly, a user was able to play Hogwarts Legacy on M2 Max with 30 plus FPS, and the toolkit also helped others play games like Diablo 4 and GTA Vice City. Of course, each of these scenarios will require a lot of optimizations, and I believe that intensive titles like these will definitely touch a higher FPS mark once the optimizations are done properly. Looking at these illustrations, the latest M2 Max chip looks capable of playing most games at around 60 FPS with proper optimizations, and previous chips like M1 and M2 can also play these games with a playable frame rate. Of course, Apple devices are not specialized in gaming, and one should never go for these systems if their only requirement is gaming. But this new toolkit has definitely opened the door for something which was unheard of, and now Apple users can finally experience what it feels like to be a Windows gamer. Before moving on, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to stay updated with the latest hardware news and leaks. I spent several hours collecting the best stories out there, and your subscriptions will help this channel immensely. Coming back, Intel has just announced two new latest Arc Pro GPUs for both desktops and laptops. These are the Arc A60 and A60M Pro, and the interesting thing about these GPUs is that they use the DG2 G12 die that is rumored to be used in the Arc A580. This GPU will feature specs somewhere between the G11 and G10 chips that are used in the Arc A380 and A770 respectively. For instance, it uses 2048 cores and 12 GB of GDDR6 memory on a 192-bit bus. Video card says that this card is going to cost just $175. So even if it is a professional GPU, it is still featuring more VRAM at a fairly lower cost than AMD and Nvidia's latest budget GPUs. The question is, will Intel make the A580 with the G12 die, or it has cancelled the GPU altogether? The A580 can prove itself to be a very compelling card with 12 GB of VRAM, but Intel has been silent on it from the last year. And talking about GPUs, Galaxy has recently decided to cut the prices of its RTX 30 and 40 series GPUs in China. The report comes from board channels that listed all the cards and the discount Galaxy cards are going to see from now onwards. Here the RTX 4080 sees the highest price cut of 1000 yuan, which is equivalent to $140. Similarly, the 4070 will see a price cut of $28, the 3060 GPUs will see a higher price cut of $35, and the RTX 3050 will also see a price cut of $20, which at the end of the day won't even matter because 3050 is still the most stupid card in the Ampere family. The price cut is most likely going to occur in various parts of the world because RTX 40 GPUs are one of the worst selling GPUs from Nvidia, and we have already seen Nvidia cutting the prices of its higher end GPUs in the past few weeks. Similarly, AMD can also be seen reducing its RX 7000 GPU prices significantly, and recently the XFX RX 7900 XT was seen on a heavy discount of 24% on Mindfactory. It usually costs 900 euros, but as the card doesn't provide a good value for this price, AIBs have no choice but to reduce the prices frequently. In the North American region, this card is selling for almost $100 less than its MSRP, and if you want to buy it, you can find my affiliate links in the description below. However, if you can wait more and don't need a high-end GPU, you can just go with AMD Phoenix, which is planned to launch on the AM5 platform at the end of this year, and it doesn't even require a discrete GPU. Furthermore, you can watch my recent video on Ryzen 8000 CPUs that are going to replace budget graphics cards and can probably play games on ultra settings. Lastly, if you found this video informative, then don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Also, make sure to turn on the notifications to never miss any latest uploads, and I will see you in the next one.